Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sound Waves, brought to you by Sound Cove Labs and powered by Sound Cove Labs. I'm Rob Petrosh, the founder of Sound Cove, based here in Greenwich, Connecticut. It is great to have you with us today. We're very excited to dive deep into topics to make AI easy for business. And I'm excited today to be joined by Fred Hodge Jr., the president of Clearview Washing LLC. Fred, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rob. I'm excited to dive deep and talk business.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. So we always like to kick off. Why don't you tell everyone where you are in the world?
Yeah, so we're located in Freehold, New Jersey, dead center of the state, and we've been around now for 21 years.
Great. Tell me a little bit about Clearview Washing and what you guys offer customers in New Jersey.
Yeah, so we started off, someone was supposed to go to my parents' house for $400 back in 2004, and they didn't show up, they didn't call, they didn't anything. So we started off as a window cleaning company, and we put an ad in the newspaper, because that's what you did back in 2004 still. We kind of got clients, and we started off just as a window cleaning company. We've kind of evolved over these past 21 years. We offer power washing and soft washing, roof cleaning. We do gutter cleaning. We also do shrink wrapping of outdoor furniture, and we even do holiday and permanent lights now as well.
Great. And what's a typical day look like for you as the head of Clearview Washing?
So it's really evolved over the years. I've gone from, like every entrepreneur, of wearing every hat to slowly and methodically giving my hats away. So now my hats that I keep, that I enjoy, I spend a lot of time in the office here where I'm recording now. The guys nowadays don't think I even know how to clean or do any of the services, but it's been a little bit since I do that. But I get here early in the morning and I kind of oversee with my operations manager the crews going out every day, making sure they have everything. And then from there, I'm kind of working a lot on overseeing, obviously, the helping my operations manager, and then the lead generation, overseeing the sales department. Those are the big two components of my role here, along with obviously company culture and making sure that our team is really dialed in and ready to knock it out of the park for our clients.
How big is the company now?
We have 26 employees.
And that's the crews. You have an in-house marketing team as well with the
Yeah, so it's that's all in. That's our field techs, our operations manager, our 3 salesmen, and our office staff as well.
Okay, got it. What major shifts are you seeing in the exterior cleaning home service industry? Since 2004, there's obviously been a lot of changes, but recently, what are some of the trends you're seeing?
Yeah, well, technology from then until now has been dramatic. Obviously, in the recent years with AI, but before that, just evolution of like more digital, going with more with a Google type, trying to get leads between obviously organic search and doing your SEO to eventually getting into the Google local services and the Google guarantee, and then also doing the Google ads. Obviously, YouTube really blew up as well, and really all the social media components as well. So it's not the same game it was when we first started. Like I was saying before, yeah, we actually put an ad in the newspaper back in 2004. Obviously, you wouldn't do that nowadays. And it's really relationship built too. I've learned that over the years, that the marketing is all great, you need all that, but the relationships is really where the game is played for us, and making sure that we know what our clients need and giving them a system, even if it's stuff we don't offer, being able to be their eyes and ears on different properties and see stuff and say, hey, we noticed this. We don't offer that, but I do have a recommendation, or I think you should look into that as well. And you build that trust factor as well.
If I did a Google search or a Yelp search for exterior cleaning where I live, I see a lot of choices. I see mom and pops, I see franchises. Obviously, where you live, it's probably very similar. What do you think makes your company stand out? Why would somebody pick you?
Yeah, so for us, it's multifaceted. So for us, obviously we have almost 1,000 Google reviews. So obviously there's a trust factor there with a 4.9 rating. Also, we don't hire just day laborers or any of that. For us, it's actual team members that this is a career. This isn't just a job. So it's a seasonal business. We work about 10 months out of the year. But our guys know that they have those 2 months off, or they can go shovel snow or drive for DoorDash or Uber or whatever they want to do, or go vacation, whatever they want to do during those 2 months. But they keep coming back to us. So we have the same core teammates, and you'll see that in the reviews, the names being dropped and everything being mentioned there. We also really harness technology. You wouldn't expect that necessarily from an exterior cleaning company. We pride ourselves on communication. That's a huge component of this. The reason why we started the company was because someone didn't show up or even let us know they weren't going to come. So that was the core principle of why we started the company, me and my dad. And we got to the point that we want to make sure that we communicate extremely well. And we want to make sure everyone knows we're going to get back to them as quick as possible. We're going to give notifications, an email one day, a text another day, just letting them know we're coming and showing up. And then also standing behind our work. You can hire a chuck in a truck, as they say, but you don't know after the job's done if you have an issue, if they're gone and you're never going to hear from them again. So there's a lot of companies that pop up. A lot of people will say, I see power washing signs on the street corners all over. That's not our competition. Our clients trust us, know us, and they know the results that we're going to give them.
You mentioned your expectations early on, which were not met. Someone didn't show up. How have you seen client expectations change or evolve over the years when they hire a company like yours?
Well, we're living in an age where we order off of Amazon. We expect it there either later today or tomorrow. We want food on DoorDash. It's arriving at our door in 30 minutes. If we need a car service with Uber. So they want it quick and they want it now while it's on top of mind. We're all extremely busy. Obviously, everyone's got so much different stuff going on. You throw in kids and whatnot into people's lives and it's even more complicated and so many commitments and obstacles. So when people are thinking about it, we want to strike where the iron's hot and we want to be able to provide that. And I think the days of like leaving voicemails and praying someone calls you back, you really can't rely on that. And we have our office staff. We have multiple office staffs that we have to make sure we have the phones covered during working hours. And then we have AI answering when it's the off hours, the weekends. And we want to make sure that they're still getting someone to talk to. So it's not just a voicemail anymore.
Yeah, I think that's really important, especially I think in your space where if you don't pick up the phone, they'll just go to the next person on the list, correct?
Exactly. We want to stop that. We want them to call us and then we basically provide what they're looking for.
Great. So when you think about the company in October of 2025 and you've built up something great, but what's working really well right now? What's giving you the most momentum as a company when you look at it?
Yeah, so the biggest momentum I think is our team. I think I say it every year, but I mean it. This is the best team we've ever had, and that's just a testament to like how we keep evolving, growing. There was a time and place where it was hard to find employees over the 21 years. That was a learning curve, and we realized that we used to joke that if you could breathe, you could work for Clearview. Obviously, it doesn't work out long term very well, so we really dialed in on our hiring process, and we have a multi-step process for hiring. And we have that dialed in. And I really consider, I know the cliche family business, they feel like family, but they really do. I really appreciate every team member in every position in the company. And there's no weak links. The old sports analogy, you're only as good as the weakest link. Well, we don't have any weak links. And that's the thing I think that drives the most momentum and drives me to find and get as many jobs as possible. Because like I said earlier, it's a career and not a job. They have families, they have commitments, they have stuff on their end. So it's up to me, and I take that with a lot of pride that I got to figure out a way when we slow down to find more jobs and keep everyone busy during those 10 months of the year.
On the flip side, what's been frustrating or more challenging than you expected as you've scaled as a company?
So I think the biggest thing hurting us right now, in my opinion, is the closing rate. That's the one hot button item that I'm trying to fix collectively with the team and especially obviously the sales department is, listen, we have a great follow-up sequence. We have great communication. We even go out to the jobs like residentially. We bring folders with FAQ pamphlets, how to hire the right contractor, a sample of some of our reviews. See, everyone did that in the 80s and 90s, but then that went by the wayside with the digital age. We wanted to bring back some of that shaking hands, kissing babies, and really showcase what we got. But at the same time, I realize our pricing isn't cheap. But at the same time, the one area that I'm really trying to work on is that closing rate. Because I know if I can get it to basically 50%, that would be really great for our company.
Do you find the consumers are really shopping around? Are you up against two or three people on most jobs, would you say? Or
So we're About 30% residential, high-end residential. And I don't feel like they're shopping around as much. The 70% commercial, I think some of them, what I consider commercial is some of that's HOAs and different apartment complexes and whatnot. And I think they're required to get 3 estimates. So you're going against other companies when it comes to the commercial space. The residential, of course, not everyone's just calling you and only you, but I don't think there's as much of that with that 30% residential that we have going on, since it's the higher end and they want the Mercedes and not the Hyundai.
And with the commercial or B2B type sale, do you actually have sales people in charge of closing those deals, or how is it set up for those larger contracts?
Yeah, so out of the 3 sales reps, we have 1 doing residential solely. We have our VP of sales, so he's overseeing the residential and the commercial, but he's selling commercial. And then we have 1 commercial guy that I don't give any leads to, and he basically hunts and he kills what he hunts. And that's all on him to go out there and basically build relationships, get opportunities, and convert that into jobs.
Which is a great kind of pivot to marketing here on the B2C and B2B front. Let's talk B2C for a minute. What's working for you? You mentioned you're not buying that newspaper ad anymore. That makes sense. But it is a competitive space. It is expensive. Probably your keywords are expensive out there. What are you doing to get the residential customer, and what's working for you? And yeah, I'd love your take.
Yeah, so obviously over the years we really invested heavily for I'd say about 15 years now in the SEO. So I wanted to get those, invest in it now, get those free leads later on type of deal, and that's been good to us with our rankings and our opportunities on Google. LSA has been good to us with basically a transactional, like here's $30, here's a lead, and doing that. I haven't had as much success on the Google Ad words when it's impressions and clicks and all that stuff. Felt like we need to be there. For me, it's also the fact that we have about 15,000 people on our jobber database now, and kind of harvesting our customer list. I was always under the mentality up until a couple of years ago, like constantly looking for new jobs, new opportunities, but I kind of was neglecting the fact that we've been farming this whole list and the seeds are there, and how do we get more out of the people that we've already serviced, because our services are reoccurring. Whether they choose to use this multiple times a year, every couple of years, everyone's on a different schedule of what they prefer, what they want, what their budget allows. But at the end of the day, that customer base with the 15,000 people, and sending out periodic monthly texts, offering different promotions, doing a newsletter, email campaigns, and then even some voicemail bombs sprinkled in here and there where it just leaves a voicemail, but there's no phone ringing or any of that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do have a long history since 2004. Reactivating that database can be a great resource for you. What would you say digitally drives you the most quality leads, though, right now? Is it social media?
Social media helps for sure. Obviously, in the Facebook groups, there's always, I joined every town in central Jersey, so like I'm always waiting in the wings for someone to say, hey, I'm looking for roof cleaning, I'm looking for gutter cleaning, I'm looking for window cleaning. And obviously, I'm trying, and many competitors also post, but I'm trying to differentiate ourselves by showing our reviews, obviously giving hyperlinks to the Facebook page, the website, and obviously doing that. But I'd say just Google overall is still the king of that when it comes to the digital, where most of our leads come from.
And we talk to a lot of founders in the home services space, if you will, boring businesses to a degree. A lot of them are getting creative with, they're trying to have fun with it, with TikToks, and they're trying to make that business that isn't maybe the most exciting into something fun or funny or comical. Have you explored doing that at all with your socials?
Yeah, so this time last year, me and my wife were flown out to Denver by the software company Jobber, and they wanted feedback from some of the core users on like some things they were working on doing. And we were surrounded in a room, and we went on Instagram, and we realized like all these people sitting next to us had like 500,000, 1 million followers. I'm like, holy smokes. And then at one point they started asking us all these business questions because they were impressed with what me and my wife, she's the CEO of the company. It's a family business. It's my wife, my dad, and my mother. But at the end of the day, I was like, well, how do you guys have all these followers? Like, what are you guys doing? And one guy's like, well, I have a social media coach. I'm like, really? I didn't even know that was a thing. So we hired a social media coach that he recommended, and she started drafting scripts and putting it together. I hired a videographer, I got an editor, and I started piecing it all together. So for this entire year, since March, we've been posting content probably about 3 to 4 times a week on every single platform, from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and even Google My Business. And we put it on every single platform 3 to 4 times a week. And we do have some fun with it. We obviously, we have weekly meetings, so I give her feedback. She asks me questions so she can kind of put together the scripts properly and but there's props, there's all types of stuff. So yeah, we certainly have fun with it. And I get a lot of great feedback regarding the content that we're.
Yeah, I think that's the right approach, and your consistency and that you're doing it a good amount, I think really helps. So that's great to hear. Turning to B2B marketing, what's your approach there? How do you approach it differently? And what's working for you there?
So for us, it goes back to the relationships. We joined many different organizations where we want to work. We're in the community association world, apartment association world, the building owner association world. We also joined the school building and grounds association. Anywhere we're trying to work, there's usually an association tied to that. And then they have different outings, events, expos, you name it. So we invest heavily into all that stuff. So we get face time with property and facility managers and doing all that. And then on the social side of that, when it comes to the business to business, I used to think that LinkedIn was basically 40 an hour week employees trading resumes, looking for their next job, doing that whole thing. And then I realized it wasn't that. Everyone in the business world was on LinkedIn. So we started to really harness LinkedIn and really build up the business page, connect with as many people that we could potentially do business with, and also that same stream of content that we're putting out there.
Great. Pivoting to the future and looking ahead, let's say 6 to 12 months, where would you like Clearview to be?
In terms of revenue, or what in particular would you like to hear?
Just in growth, whether it's new market segments, new geographies, where are you looking to grow as a company over, let's say, the next year?
Yeah, so when it comes to commercially, we service obviously New Jersey is not a huge state and we're heavily populated, but we service the entire state commercially, and even eastern Pennsylvania. So we'll go into Philadelphia and the suburbs around there as well. So we're covering pretty much the whole state without needing multiple locations. I want to dive deeper, and we currently are. The outside sales rep that we hired that's going out and getting his own leads, he comes from a background that's heavily in the apartment association world, and we're trying to dive heavily into that. We're also exploring and diving deeper into the government space as well. I'm looking for every bid opportunity when it comes to any service that we offer for the government, from the state level, from the federal level, which I haven't seen much of that yet, but from the state level down to the county level, down to the town and city level. I'm exploring, and even all the schools, universities, and colleges. I'm looking for any bid opportunity I can get in those segments.
Yeah, that's interesting. The government sounds, I think it could be very lucrative, but also very time consuming, correct?
Yeah, but it also weeds out a lot of people. It's the guy with the street sign corner saying $99 power washing is not bidding on that. He doesn't have the insurance requirements, affirmative action certificate, the public works certificate, all the stuff that comes with it. Yeah, it's about this thick every time I submit these things. And it takes a lot of time, and it's usually you're under the gun because you got about 2 weeks to get it done. But again, when you're competing with only a few companies, you can really differentiate yourself. And we landed one of our bigger contracts because no one else submitted a bid. Not everyone knows about all the different stuff out there, and it's hard to track everything that's coming out. It's not like it's out there for months either. It's usually like a 2-week window where it's posted, and you gotta have to have it submitted within 2 weeks. To answer your question as well, we're launching as we speak something called the Clearview Home Care Club, which is a membership plan, and I'd like to see that really take off for 2026. I'm trying to lay the groundwork and get it going right now. We're in the midst of launching it, just to get a few customers, and even if we don't get the customers' feedback on, do they find anything confusing? Is there anything they would recommend? Because that's very prevalent in the HVAC space, the pest control space. People do sign up for these memberships for that, and I'd love to have that steady, reoccurring work, and also plug it into holes in the calendar where maybe we're a little slower, and everyone wins because the customer's saving a substantial amount. So we're trying to gear that towards all people that have used Clearview in the past. They already know us, they trust us. If I try selling that to someone right off the bat that's never used us before, it might come across the wrong way. But if they know us and trust us and they can save a bunch of money and they don't have to think about it, they know Well, with the one plan, you're going to get 2 gutter cleanings, an outside window, and a house wash. Well, that every year, if you get that done, that's the gold plan, and then we have a platinum and a diamond plan. And we're trying to test it out, evolve it, and put it in every segment, from the scripts on the phone to the website to obviously social media to you name it, to try to get it out there.
I think that's a really smart idea. And you're exactly right. I think about my own usage. I have it with HVAC. I have it with a few other services where the washing side, it's more me walking by my house going, I think I need that now. But if it was on autopilot, I'd probably be a lot happier. So I think that's a really good approach.
So you don't have to think about it, and you're saving money at the same time.
And
And
you're
it's all
saving money.
just getting done.
And listen, I assume you obviously do deep research in the industry. Do you find that trend around the country, other large exterior cleaning companies using that approach with success? Have you researched that?
Yeah, I did a lot of research. I found it to be very prevalent down in Florida. Granted, Florida is like the mold and algae capital of the world with the humidity and the temperatures and all that. Obviously, Northeasterners, we have the wintertime where it kind of puts a halt on the mold and mildew growth. But in Florida, it's very prevalent. And there's a lot of companies down there that have a lot of clients doing it. I don't personally know of any in New Jersey, so I saw an opportunity there, and that's why we're devoting time, resources, and energy into getting this off the ground. And I think it could be something big.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. One question we love to ask founders is, and we know you've built an amazing operation, you have a lot on your plate, but if you could solve one major challenge, or sometimes we ask if you could wave your magic wand, what's one thing that you could fix immediately that would really accelerate the business?
Obviously, I deal with the seasonality aspect, and that's hard because we're so swamped during certain months and a lot slower during the other, and trying to provide work for everyone and steady and not hire too many people, but not have enough and do all that. I guess it really comes down to lead generation and the closing rate again. If I have both of those dialed in, I'll find a way to get more trucks and equipment. We have the hiring process down. I'll get more employees. I can figure all the rest out. It's all dictated based off of that. On average, over the past 21 years, we grow at a roughly 20% clip. So obviously, in a perfect world, we would continue to maintain that or exceed that moving forward.
Yeah, and for the seasonality, you just touch on that. What areas, like I'm thinking fireplace cleaning or something like that. Have you explored winter cleaning, jobs that could keep people employed? Or I assume you've thought about it, but I'm just curious what steps you've taken there.
Yeah, so we've explored it. We've even tested it. We got into air duct cleaning many, many years ago. I thought that would be a good one, but that one's a big bait and switch industry. I don't know how they do it. There's always ads like $39, get your whole house air duct, and then as soon as they step foot in the house, they're like, well, actually, you have this many registers and return vents and 2 systems, so it's actually $499. So like, I would tell them it was $499 from the get-go, and they're like, well, I got the guy for $39. I'm like, but it's not going to be $39. So like, at a certain point, just didn't enjoy that. We thought about getting into like maybe even painting, so we could do interior painting over the winter. It's a totally different industry, different trade, and I just didn't really love that one. And then we always thought about snow plowing and just snow removal stuff. But again, we're in New Jersey where we do get snow, but every year, man, you don't know what you're going to get. You might get 1 inch or you might get 50. And I know the year I invest in it, we're going to get 1 inch, or we're going to beat the heck out of the transmissions on all our trucks. So I was like, you know what? That's why we added the holiday lights. That does extend our season a little bit. Granted, not many people are going to spend the money to get it put up only a week or two before Christmas, but it keeps the guys really busy as we kind of close out the year, and we get to about almost mid-December as part of that, and then we also have to take them down after the holidays. So we bring the guys back after the holidays, take that down. So it's shortened the gap that from mid-December until March 1st, because we kick off March 1st every year, and we're able to rock and roll. We work all winter long, me and the sales team in the office, basically getting those jobs locked in, getting on the calendar. So as soon as the crews come back from March 1st, we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I love the holiday lights. It's a very big where I am as well, and we end up hiring them every year and writing a pretty nice sized check. So I think that's a great move, good move for the future as well. Fred, it was awesome to have you on the show. Please tell everyone, especially our friends in New Jersey and Eastern Pennsylvania, where they can find you.
Yeah, so on all the social platforms from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and even LinkedIn, Clearview Wash at Clearview Washing, and then me personally at Fred Hodge Jr. For all of them. I'm on every single platform, so if you look at Fred Hodge Jr. or Clearview Washing, you will find our stuff, and we'd love to have some more interaction and checking us out.
Well, thank you for being on Sound Waves. We really appreciate it. And thanks for joining us today. And, we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, Rob, and I look forward to talking to you again.
You got it. Thanks. And thanks to all of our audience for joining today on Sound Waves. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.